What's up, everybody? Josh Armijo here. I hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I got an album review to do for you, and I'm going to show it to you right now. This is the new album from the band Thulcandra, entitled Ascension Lost. This is released on Napalm Records. Now, if you're not too familiar with this band, they are based out of Munich, Germany, and the best way to describe the sound of this band would be a very traditional, atmosphere-driven, melodic style of black metal. Yeah. Thulcandra is a very interesting black metal project. This is a side project of Stefan from the band Obscura. Now, if you don't know who Obscura are, of course, they are one of the most well-known and revered bands within the technical death metal worlds and within the German metal underground. Very popular, well-known, and well-respected sort of band. This band is pretty much one of the things that Stefan is involved with. And this band pretty much has a very simple sort of formula going for it. Definitely a ode to the very awesome and wonderful music to come out of Sweden, most notably bands such as Dissection, Sacramentum, Lord Belial, Necrophobic to a certain extent. Yeah, Thulcandra definitely emulated and represented those kind of musical styles with their sound and style. And of course, it was very well evidented on this band's first couple of releases. 2010's Fallen Angels Dominion and the previous release, 2011's Under a Frozen Sun. Definitely entertaining stuff. Pretty much, what you see is what you get. From the Necrolord artwork, to the soundscapes, to the music, to the production values, you would pretty much know what you're going to be in for when you listen to a band like this. This is definitely a meat and potatoes sort of epidemic when it comes to listening to a band like Thulcandra, but they definitely get the job done. It doesn't matter whether it's new or original, or borrowed or whatever, they make it their own kind of sound, and it really is awesome sounding. And of course, Stefan being very busy with Obscura and assorted other musical projects, it's been quite a while since we had heard anything from Thulcandra. Now they're back with their third full-length entitled Ascension Lost. It's 10 tracks, and it clocks in at around 46 minutes in length, and pretty much for this go-around, you can easily tell that the influences that make Thulcandra so very well known are still in fact intact here and sound very well here. But in certain other instances, it feels as if this band wants to try to break away just a small, tiny little bit and form their own unique sort of pathway and sound with what they do. But more likely than anything, aside from the instances of wanting to be a little bit different, you can tell that this is straight up Thulcandra business as usual. And they deliver another really solid piece of Swedish black and death metal worship. I definitely think it's an entertaining record, to say the least bit. And this album is a very riff-dominated sort of record. As is the case with any sort of Thulcandra release, the riffs are definitely something to behold and be marveled at here. Especially on tracks like The First Rebellion and Deliverance in Sin and Death. Just some very well-articulated and very well-played and delivered riff work going on here. I think the guitar work definitely shines throughout this entire release. I definitely think it sounds great. It's definitely well mixed and produced. Definitely very good and clean sounding, but not too clean to the point where you think it's going to be over-polished. You would expect in this sort of type of band to have a little bit of a clean production value, but it's not too clean to where it's distracting. I definitely think it sounds good. Definitely not too overbearing with the way that this album's production and mixing sounds. But going back to the guitar work, I definitely think it's intricate. I love the riffs, I love the leads, I love the solos and execution in certain parts. I definitely think it sounds awesome. Even the little small hints of acoustic work being done here in bits and pieces, I think it sounds really good too. Bass-wise, I think it's really good too. Definitely a very well-executed sort of bass guitar tone, definitely clear and audible for the mix. More likely than anything, this is more guitar-driven than anything, but still I think the bass work is very well handled here. Definitely something to abide by and go by as every single track goes by, even the intricate details that are being shown here. I think it really sounds awesome. When it comes to the drums, this drummer is definitely one to continue on in a very intricate sort of pathway here. Lots and lots of fills and blast beats. This is very much a blast beat orientated record. You're going to get a lot of that in certain instances here, but it's not all just blast beats and double bass here. There are some definite greatly good moments when it comes to the more melodic sort of side of this band. I definitely think the drummer does add a little bit of variety here and there to the overall aesthetic of this album, and I think he does a very tremendous job here. Songs like Demigod Imprisoned and Sorrow of the One, definitely some really good drum moments going on in those tracks. I definitely think it's awesome to listen to. Even the small little interludes and introductions and closing moments definitely add more to the overall story and vibe of this record. And moving on to the vocals, you definitely recognize Stefan's voice right away. He's a very recognizable vocalist, and here on this album, you pretty much will know what he's going to be getting into when it comes to this album's lyrics and themes. His vocals definitely are very awesome to listen to, very throaty and raspy, very high-end sort of screaming, but I definitely think he does a great job here. Definitely awesome vocal work to be heard here. And what's interesting about this album is the fact that on most editions they included a demo, a 2005 demo, I believe, called Perishness Around Us. And if you happen to get the digipack version of this album, you'll hear the bonus tracks of the demo, which pretty much showed Thulcandra in its earliest stages. And I think it's very interesting to hear what this band had started out like at first, and then evolving into what we know Thulcandra to be now. It's very interesting, and definitely something for the fan of this band to soak into if they want to know further about this band's history. So, overall, if you're a fan of melodic black metal, if you're into what Thulcandra has put out previously, I think you will appreciate what they're going forward here with Ascension Lost. Pretty much like I said previously, this is a meat and potatoes sort of effort. You already know what you're going to be in for when you listen to a Thulcandra record, but you should expect some things to be quite entertaining too. I definitely think this is a well worth the wait sort of record, and I definitely will be interested to see if Thulcandra continues, or if maybe Obscura gets right back up on the midst of working on new material. You never know what'll be up with Stefan in his head, but regardless, it's a fun record to listen to. So if I had to pick any favorite tracks, I would definitely have to say The First Rebellion, Deliverance in Sin and Death, Demigod Imprisoned, Exalted Resistance, and the title track. Definitely some worthwhile tracks to listen to. So I'm going to leave you some links in the description box as how you can get a hold of this album and listen to it. I will link you to some selected songs that are currently available on YouTube to listen to, and I will also link you to where you can purchase this CD internationally and in the US. I believe Napalm Records made a web store available in the United States for anybody who wants to get a hold of material through there. So I believe it's available in a jewel case, digipack CD with the bonus demo, and I don't know if there's a vinyl version or not, but if there is, I'll definitely see if I can put that in the description box for you to find. So let me show you the album again. This is Thulcandra with Ascension Lost. This is released on Napalm Records. Definitely check this out. And for a score, I'm going to give this a pretty solid 8 out of 10. By the book, Swedish black metal done by a bunch of really respected Germans. So support Thulcandra. I'm going to conclude this review. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel. And until the next time, Armijo out.